218.5 on that last one. Sub 220. I have no idea what came over me today.
The week of December 14th, about 6 weeks out from the Surf City Marathon, everything was looking on track for a sub 230 marathon. I had one of the best weeks I had ever had, not just in terms of marathon training, but really I feel like just ever. I was working out Tuesday, Thursday. On Tuesday, I did a 7-mile tempo at a 5:25 minute per mile average pace, and that was on the hardest part of the marathon course. Very, very tough and challenging. I did that in the middle of my tempo. I felt great. I felt amazing. It was awesome. Came back Thursday and did the Yasso 800s workout, 10 by 800. I was hoping to average just under 230 for all of them. I ended up averaging, I think, 222 or 223 for the 10 800s. That Sunday, I had a long run with 8 of those miles being at a steady 5:55 or so minute per mile average pace. Just had an amazing week of training, but then something happened. I started feeling some nagging in my upper hamstring, lower hip on my right side, a few miles almost into every run, and it slowly progressed and got worse and worse day by day. I tried to mitigate it by having some down weeks. I did about 2 weeks where I really lowered the intensity for all my workouts and lowered the mileage, but nothing seemed to be working. I was doing everything: ice bath, getting massage, compression, you name it, I had tried it, but nothing was really seeming to do anything to help make it better. It probably didn't help also that during this time it was the holiday season, very busy at work. I was working multiple 8-hour shifts back to back on my feet the entire time, which of course is not good for the legs or any kind of recovery when you have some sort of injury. By the middle to end of January, only a couple miles into every run, I was feeling this sharp shooting pain on my right side that I could not get rid of no matter what I tried. My Sunday runs were no longer a long run. The longest run I did from December 14th until the race was 12 miles. So leading up to the race, I basically said, okay, either I'm going to stop running completely and just race on race day, or run a few miles every day and just maintain any sort of fitness I built over the first half of this prep before I sustained this injury. I really didn't want to show up to race day and just run slower than my PR of 2:35. Basically, my strategy was this: go out in PR pace and either finish the race in a new PR or drop out. So without further ado, here's February 4th, the Surf City Marathon. Let's go. It is 3:30 a.m. marathon day.
You want this blanket?
Sweet. Stagger them out, so I'll probably have one. I'll probably try to get one every 4-ish miles or so. If you could try to stay on top of that too. Alrighty. Hopefully I cross the finish line. That's all.
For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Photographer here at the start line. Big smiles, get excited, make some noise. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on, brother!
In this day and age of technology and the internet, data brokers make a ton of money selling your personal information, whether that's your email address, phone number, even home address of where you live. As someone with an online presence, I was pretty shocked to see that when I typed in my full name in the search bar, on the first page of results came up with my phone number, where I live, where my parents live, and even names of my relatives. It was really discomforting. That is where today's sponsor comes into play, Aura. Think of Aura as your personal digital security guard that will submit opt-out requests on your behalf to take down your information on these websites. By law, these data brokers have to remove your information when you request it, but they usually make it really difficult, and Aura does all that back work for you. When I say Aura is all in one, I mean it. We're talking antivirus, VPN, parental controls, identity theft insurance, password protection, and more. Stop data brokers from exposing your personal information. Go to my sponsor, aura.com/alive Elijah Orr and see how much of your personal information is out there being sold. Again, that's aura.com/Elijah Orr for a 14-day completely free trial. I know you're going to love it. Thank you so much, Aura, for sponsoring the video. In my head, I'm just thinking when the gun went off, okay, you know your leg is going to be on fire pretty quickly. It's going to hurt way more than it should be hurting at the beginning of a 2.5-hour race, but just focus and see how long you can hang on before I can't take it anymore. Seven miles in was probably the lowest point of the entire race. I was not feeling good. My whole right lower half is just barking at me. I just took a gel and I came so close to throwing up. I hadn't practiced fueling or eating gels on runs in over 6 weeks just because I was only tending to my leg. And man, I was just not doing well here, only 7 miles in to a 26-mile race.
Well done, brother. Well done.
By mile 10, I was through that low point and actually feeling not too bad. My leg had went somewhat numb, which was obviously not a good thing, but for the moment it was nice to not be feeling a ton of pain. And a familiar face, my boy, George, aka White Chunk,
Austin's about to get a piece of this white chunk, baby. Let's go.
was here to help me through the middle section of the race. That moment of feeling good was quite short-lived. The pain was back again with a vengeance by mile 12, and so it was time to break the glass in case of emergency and pop some ibuprofen. I can count on one hand the amount of times I've taken ibuprofen in my life probably. I really try to stay away from this stuff as much as possible, but in this case, I needed that pain relief, and it was 2 Advil down the hatch. I will say I was very much on top of the nutrition and hydration, with most of that thanks to Shiloh biking next to me, who got me a gel or fluid whenever I asked him while simultaneously filming, so big shout out to him. In total, I believe I had 7 gels, about 1 every 3 to 4 miles, and about 25 to 30 ounces total of fluid, half water, half electrolytes.
And watch me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
Just holding on to form and holding on for dear life was the name of the game those last 6 miles, especially making that last U-turn back into the big headwind on the final home stretch. I'm doing my best just to zone out, not think about how much pain my leg is in, and just thinking sub 2:35, whatever it takes to cross the line in under that time.
Comes in second.
Another full marathon finisher.
Elijah Ola from Huntington Beach finishes second.
Second place, congratulations, baby.
In 2:33, just over 5:48 average. I was never on 2:30 pace. I pretty much knew like 2 miles in. My foot was hurting like 2 miles in. Eventually it went numb. I popped a few ibuprofen, but just did the best I could. Oh, my shoulders turned.
Finish this run, let him hear it, let him hear it. Marathon coming up.
And I pray that it is temporarily. I've been lost.
So 2:33:20, a new PR in the marathon by 1 minute and 40 seconds. I got second overall, about 40 seconds or so behind the guy who won it. I think at most he had about 2 minutes on me in the middle of the race. I caught him a little bit, but just ran out of real estate. That was never the goal though, to win the race. It really was just to break the tape in a new PR, which I did do that. I am happy about that. Don't get me wrong, I am very happy and proud of myself for persevering and still hitting a new PR despite all the adversity and things I went through leading up to this marathon. But I have to say, crossing that finish line, really the only thing that was hurting a lot was that right leg and right side of my body. Finishing this marathon, how I felt overall compared to Boston, there was absolutely no comparison at all. I was so wrecked and so dead after running 2:35 flat at Boston compared to running 2:33:20 here. I can't lie and say I'm not a bit disappointed knowing that probably 90% of my body was ready to run sub 2:30, but that last 10% just wasn't. Mark my words though, by this time next year, I will be a sub 2:30 marathoner. You can count on that. I am sorry for being MIA on the channel and not posting a full-length video in a long time. Just going through that whole injury thing leading up to the marathon after being on such a high and feeling like I was in the best shape I had ever been in for the marathon to not being able to run more than 12 miles at a time. It was just really tough, and it was hard enough just to keep myself out there running every day, let alone making videos. But now that that is all said and done and over with, and that I'm training for new things, I will be coming at you with much more frequent videos, I promise. Thank you guys so much for all the support through the prep series, for the people that showed up on race day and were cheering me on, for the people in the race themselves at the Surf City that were yelling at me and telling me to keep going. That was very, very helpful. And of course, all of you who are just at home cheering me on virtually. I just cannot say thank you enough. You guys are awesome, amazing. You guys helped me through the hardest times, and this prep was definitely one of those hardest times. It was very, very tough, but we made it through in a new PR, 2:33:20. Again, thank you guys so much. I just appreciate every single one of you. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, be good humans, do good things, search happiness. Peace.
Suddenly